today. I gotta tell you, just coming out here and starting to tell you about all the things that have happened. I want to just start off by letting you know, about 20 months ago, I was in Afghanistan. 20 months ago, actually today, it's kind of ironic, but 20 months ago today, I was in Afghanistan on a combat patrol. And just one particular morning, I got the news that we were going to recon an IED, an explosive, basically an explosive making factory. Bad news, you know. You don't want to get that news early in the morning, but that's what we had to go do. Turns out we go outside the outpost. We exit the outpost on our mission to do what we got to do. We get to one particular place, and everything changed. Bullets started flying. People were crying. Men are shouting, and all chaos has broke loose. We fight off the insurgents, and we get to the place where we have to go. My men are behind cover. I go out to go and grab more men to bring them from behind or behind cover so they can be safe. And I put all my weight on this right foot. And in a matter of seconds, I'm picked up in the air and I'm thrown back about 20 feet. 33 pounds of explosive I stepped on. It tore my legs obviously off, and part of my arm is disfigured now. And we look at this and we say, well, wow, what a tragic situation. I'm sorry that I hear it all the time. I'm sorry this had to happen to you. I'm sorry this happened. And in the beginning, I was just as sorry as everybody else was. Why did this have to happen? This is what I looked like. I'm floating in the water in this particular day, but those were what my injuries looked like as I lay on a battlefield, not in a swimming pool, but on a battlefield. It looks just like this. My arm is disfigured. My legs are gone. And I have a life. You know, I have a wife. I have kids. I want to hug my wife. I want to stand up and I want to hold her. It's going to be hard to do that. And I'm thinking in the bed, in this hospital bed, it's going to be very hard to live the life that I had before. This is what it looked like when I showed up in the hospital. This is before I was even conscious. So my mom and my wife walk in and they see this person that they once knew that's totally different now. And they're wondering, are they going to get the same person back that left American soil and came back to American soil? Are they going to get the same person back? We wonder these things. We wonder, why did this have to happen? And because we don't get the answers to that question immediately, we have to make sense of it sometimes. We have to make sense of what happens. And that's what we do as humans. We try to figure out why. And that hospital bed, obviously not that particular day, but in subsequent days, I began to get mail from all over the country. People I've never even met before. They would mail me stuff, and I would go through the boxes, and sometimes it would be great stuff. It'd be iPads, or it'd be MP3 players, or it'd be snacks. It'd be all kind of stuff, and then sometimes it would be just odd stuff like rubber bands and chapstick. You know, I got a seat collar on and a breathing tube, and they said it'd be chapstick. But they're well-meaning people, though. They're well-meaning people. I don't even have hands to even grasp the chapstick to put it on if I wanted to. But the thing about it is they're well-meaning people that send me stuff. And I'm rummaging through boxes, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And just like weird stuff that they send you, they send me a pack of pencils. And I'm like, that's good. Now I can start annotating my ideas down on paper. I can start annotating the ideas that I have on paper, and I can write out my plans and stuff like that. Well, the problem with that is this. When you want to write down stuff with a pencil, and the pencils are brand new in the packet, they look like this. You need a sharpener. You need a pencil sharpener. Well, they had the great idea to say, hey, look, you're going to need to take notes, but they didn't put the pencil sharpener in there. And I mean, just become frustrated. You become very frustrated when things like that happen. And the pencil sharpener, because it wasn't there, it made me ask questions. Why would they do this? And it was almost like an epiphany. It was like the lights from the heavens opened up, and they said, "Stop! Just listen to what you're saying. This pencil is no good without the sharpener." Now, let me explain something. This pencil is no good without the sharpener. And it's just like us. See, this pencil right now, it doesn't know it right now, but I'm about to put it in a sharpener. It can't be used right now, but I'm about to put it in the sharpener so it can be used. And when the lights from the heavens shone down on me, they said, "Hey, listen, that's just like you. It's going to be very uncomfortable over the next couple of months. And I'm going to have to turn you and make it uncomfortable. And though this pencil right now is going through hell," look. And look, we're laughing at it, right? We're laughing at it. But the pencil isn't laughing. And it's going through a heck of a time right now. It's being shapen. It's being turned and twisted. But without this sharpener, it wouldn't be used. It wouldn't be used for its purpose. See, its purpose is to be used so that others can get the most out of this pencil. But right there in the middle, you see I stopped. And that's just sometimes how life is with us, In the midst of a tragedy, the turning and the twisting and the sharpening, it stops. And we're like, "Hallelujah, thank you," It stopped. But we're still not where we should be. Because I can't use this pencil for what it was created to be used for, because I stopped the process. And this was me. Nobody wants to go under the sharpener. We don't want to go under the sharpener. We avoid the sharpener. That's what we do. But I need to use it, so I continue to put it in this sharpener and turn it so that it can be used. We got to shake the sharpener up sometimes, because sometimes this thing is it's not really how it should be, but we just continue to turn it until what is inside becomes exposed. The good that's on the inside of this pencil now becomes exposed. What it was created to do is now it's on the inside, but now, because of the sharpening and because of the blade and because of the turning, what's good on the inside of this pencil is now on the outside, and it can be used. And that's just like us. What's buried down on the inside of us, it can't come out until crisis sometimes comes along. Until crisis comes along and exposes the good in us. The best part of us. See, sometimes we think that the best part of us sometimes is this outer shell. So what do? We put on nice clothes. We get haircuts. We get hairdos. Put lipstick on. And we go and get the nice things for the outside so that the outer can be seen. But little do we know that the thing that's on the inside of us is so beautiful and so useful, the only way they can ever be exposed is through crisis. A couple of months later, that's where the sharpening happens at. They said, "Well, you're going to have to learn how to walk all over again. And you're going to have to put on painful prosthetics. And you're going to be exposed to a myriad of problems and challenges for the rest of your life. But through those challenges and through those problems, the best of you is going to come out." So here's me working out one day, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there are bandages all over my legs from wounds that just hadn't healed at that point. This is right before Thanksgiving of 2012. And I got this 20-pound medicine ball that my therapist is throwing at me like at lightning speed, and I'm catching it. And what you don't see is when I do catch it, it knocks me back, and I have to sit back up and then throw it back at him. This is one of those times where I just made up in my mind, I'm not going to live my life like everybody wants me to live it. I'm not. I went down to a family reunion last year in Atlanta. And everybody in Atlanta, they have this big mountain called Stone Mountain. So I made the decision, you know what? I'm going to go climb that mountain. I don't know how, and it's just like the unseen. We talk about it here at the conference. It's shaping the unseen. I don't know how I'm going to get to the top of that mountain, and it doesn't matter how I'm going to get to the top of that mountain. I just know that if I'm on that mountain long enough, then I'll get to the top. It's just like our dreams. We all have dreams. If I stay on this rock long enough, I can make it to the top of that rock. There's no clock. There's no countdown clock. So if I just start at the bottom and go, I'm going to get to the top. What I did not know was, and what we don't know when we start our dreams and when we start our lives in the beginning, what we don't know is all of the tough things that we're going to encounter along the route. That's what we don't know. This is what I didn't see. I just said, I'm going to the top of that mountain, and I'm thinking it's going to just be a nice little walkway all the way to the top. It's not. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way on this mountain, and it doesn't work that way in our lives. I started at the bottom, and I'm like, wow, all I got to do is just follow this little line, and I'll go to the top. Yep. Well, about 15 minutes into it, I got these boulders here. And these boulders are like big as this stage right here. But if I just stay on this path and I just encounter these challenges and can begin to crawl over these boulders, nobody said how I had to do it. There was no, hey, well, you can only use your feet. You can't use your hands. There were no rules. It was just, hey, get to the top. So when these boulders came along, I just said, hey, I'm going to get to the top some kind of way. And when the boulders come, I'll just climb over it. Or I'll go around it. Or I'll just crawl on all fours if I have to. Well, about 3 hours later, that's me right there on the top of the mountain. Happy. That's one of the gifts of crisis. That's one of the gifts that I got from crisis. Because the gift says this. If you can stay on the path, and there's no time limit to how long you're on that path, if you can stay on that path long enough, then you can go from where you are to wherever you want to be. That particular day, I wanted to be on top of that mountain. I didn't have any plans for how I was going to get down. Luckily, they have a gondola that takes you down. They got a gondola that takes you down. But the thing about it is this. I got to the top of that mountain. And by the time I got to the top of the mountain, even though I didn't know it was a gondola there, the gondola was almost a gift for me pursuing what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to go to the top of the mountain. I get to the top, and what do you know? There's a gondola that takes me down. And that's just how it is in life. That's just how it is. You do what you say you're going to do no matter how tough it is. And guess what? There's a present waiting for you at the end. And oftentimes it's not what you thought you were going to get when you started. I thought I was just going to go to the top of the mountain and hold up this stick. And yeah, I came, I conquered, I left. But lo and behold, there's a gondola willing to take me down. It taught me something. It taught me I could do anything. So while I'm sitting there digging through this box, looking for a pencil to write down all my goals, I end up finding a nurse that brings a pen in there. And she's like, well, don't worry about this, just write down your goals, Spend your time writing down your goals. And while I'm writing down my goals, it was almost like I want to do the most impossible thing that there is. And I want to do it soon. I want to run 5K. I want to run a 10K. I was like, dream bigger. I want to run a marathon. Well, you know what? I'm going to run a marathon. And that's how we all feel when we first get that inkling of that goal that's in our hearts. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to go do it. But the thing about it is this. That's how it feels at the beginning. It's almost like a journey you go on. It's almost like a journey. We all start and saying, we're going to go do it. And that's how it was on Monday morning. This past Monday, I said, okay, well, I'm going to do this Boston Marathon. And opportunities began to open up and things began to happen. And sure enough, that's the thing that I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do that. So I start out in Hopkinton. And you got to know this. In Hopkinton, that's a start point. You're giving high fives, and that's how we do. Yeah, it's going to be great. Ha, yeah. We're going to conquer the world. We're going to run the marathon. It'll be over in no time. We're going to high five people, and we're going to love it. But sure enough, that's how I felt at the 3 mile. I'm hugging it, high fiving it. Yeah, come on. A little bit later, at the 6 mile, you don't even see me in this picture. I told him, don't even get me on this right here. I made a guest appearance a little bit later, but in mile 12, things begin to get serious. And it's like I begin to question, what am I doing right now? I'm trying to run a marathon. What's really going on? And in between 12 and 26.2, a lot of things happened. A lot of questions were answered. And like, can I really do this? Can this really happen? We started the dream. As I started, and I'm almost at the halfway point. And is this thing really going to happen? Well, 9 hours later from the start point, I'm crossing the finish line. And that's me crossing the finish line. That's a goal that I set out way back in the hospital bed. 20 months later, I'm running the Boston Marathon. Never thought I could do it. But it goes to show this one thing, and this gift, that you can do whatever it is that comes into your mind. Whatever comes into your mind, it came to you for a reason. You're going to be a singer, a dancer, a publicist, an author. It came into your mind because you had the ability to do it. 6 hours, 19 minutes. Don't let that clock fool you. We had like a head start. We had a head start. So. But this is it though, and this is it. This is one of the gifts that we got. Thank you for your time.